Hey everybody, this is Brian Roberts. I directed the Muller segment of this show, and this is one of the newspapers that we did for the Muller segment. It was created mostly by Joe Spadiford, our concept artist, and the exception to that is the picture in the middle, which Tim Hodge actually made, because when he read the script, he said, "I've got to draw the picture of the turkey with the head of a cat." And so Tim took that job on for himself. But then all the text and everything was designed by Joe. And in typical Joe fashion, he had a lot of fun with it. Where it says, "Purdy Strange Turkey" and the Bristol Snoop, that was in the script. But everything else that's on there was just Joe being crazy. Talking vegetables, living in London, scientific evidence proves ideas are good. And then all that text off to the left, usually if you had a thing like this, it would just say blah, 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 because the audience is never going to actually be able to read that text. But Joe thinks it's funny to tell little stories in those places of text. So, and here's another one of these things. Again, the only thing the script said was stapler attacks on the rise. Joe drew the little picture of the guy on this one. And then if you see the headline at the bottom, it says, "Elephant Man looks more like rhino," except it's spelled wrong. And it doesn't matter because, hopefully when you're looking at this in the show, you're not going to be reading the line about the rhino. You're going to be reading about the stapler attacks. Photoshop doesn't have spell check, so we just kind of let it go on this one. And this is the final newspaper that we made. This one has a picture of George Muller that was mostly taken from the concept art. It was painted up to look like an old woodcut engraving, since they wouldn't have had photographs in their newspapers during this day and age. Bigfoot buys shoes. He wears a size 24. So it's funny that here the Bristol Snoop finally has a true story in it, except then it also still has its stories about Bigfoot buys shoes. Much like modern tabloids, there's an element of truth and an elephant. And there's an element of truth and an elephant. And time travel's not possible.